Welcome to the very first Thinking Like LLMs lesson of the course. This is a series of lessons that are scattered throughout the course where we're going to look at the edge cases. We're going to push the boundaries of what LLMs can do and sort of break them. And then we're going to deconstruct that to figure out what is going on inside these large language models that is causing them to give us some weird result. These are my favorite lessons in the whole course because I think it's super interesting to try to figure out what's going on inside these LLMs because they are such an incredible technology and they are a step towards artificial general intelligence, which we'll talk about a bit later. But also because it's going to make you a better prompt engineer, because understanding what happens with your prompts when they go into these models is necessary to get the most accurate and effective outputs. All right, so that's enough on that. Like I said, I love these lessons. I think they're so much fun. Here we go. Drum roll, please. The first one is Thinking Like LLMs, roll a dice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into ChatGPT. All right, here we are. I'm in ChatGPT, and I'm going to prompt it with something really simple. Roll a dice. Now, before I hit enter, I'm going to use my mystical psychic abilities. And I'm going to say that ChatGPT's going to give me a 4. All right, let's find out. Look at that. Holy smokes, I can predict the future. If you're not amazed by now, then I don't know what to do about you, but that's pretty impressive, right? I can predict what a dice roll is. That's pretty amazing because a dice, as ChatGPT says here, has 6 sides, 1 to 6, and it's completely random which side it lands on, right? Right. Okay. Now let's hop over to the playground because I want to show you something. I'm a magician that reveals his secrets. So I'm going to prompt the model with the same prompt. Roll the dice. Wow, look at that. So it rolled a 4 again. What are the chances of that? I mean, a 6-sided dice, that's about 18% chance for any given number. And it rolled 4 twice in a row. That's not impossible, but unusual. Let's take a look here a little bit deeper and look at the probabilities of this and look at that. The number 4, that token has a 47.42% chance of following these other tokens. 3 has a 21% chance, 5, 14, 6, 14, 2, only 1%. This means that rolling a dice in ChatGPT is not random. Even though when I was in ChatGPT, it looked like it was totally random. It's not, because remember, these are statistical models. They are calculating what token is most likely to follow the previous tokens. So now you're probably asking, why is that? Why is 4 most likely? Well, I don't really have an answer for you here other than that based on the training data that this model was trained on, 4 was most likely to follow the words or the tokens. The result is A. So I can't tell you why that is most common in the training data. Training data is a lot of information from the internet, for example. And I don't know why it's most common on the internet for people when they type out the roll of a dice, why they choose 4. If you have your own hypothesis on this, I would love to hear it. And also, if you're not totally understanding what I mean by training data, hold on, because just in a few lessons, we're going to dive deeper on that and learn about the whole training process of these large language models. But you probably already know the basics, which is that these models are trained on a lot of data. And for whatever reason, in that data, 4 is the most common dice roll. How wild is that? This is the stuff I love. You would never have known that if you were just in ChatGPT as a layperson and asked it to roll a dice. Let's actually try one more thing here. See if I can really stretch my psychic abilities. Okay, let's go. Pick a number between 1 and 30. And now I'm going to use my psychic abilities, hocus pocus, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm going to guess that it says 17. Oh! I need to go play the lottery or something because obviously I can predict a lot of stuff. But no, as you can see, for whatever reason, when someone asks ChatGPT to pick a number between 1 and 30, it chooses 17 most of the time, 18% of the time, which is more than any of the other options. That is the statistically most likely token. There you go. So hope you like that. That is a really sort of fun edge case that exemplifies the fact that our incredibly sophisticated technology, but they are limited. They're not able to roll a dice and produce a random number. They're only able to produce the statistically most likely token. So go use this trick to show off to your friends. Although I do need to add a caveat to this before you go off and try to show off. Remember, ChatGPT doesn't always choose the statistically most likely token. It has some level of randomness, which might cause it to choose a different token, a different number here. But that's okay. Don't let that stop you from showing off to your friends. All right. Hope you like that. We've got a bunch more of these Thinking Like LLMs lesson throughout the course. I hope you're as excited for them as I am, and I'll see you in the next lesson.